The arrogance of proof. God does not need a defense attorney. Only a frightened mind thinks reality must show ID at the door of its own dream. Prove yourself, says the mask to the light behind it. But masks only prove glue. Light remains what it is. The arrogance isn't doubt. It's the demand that the changeless submit to the measuring tape of change. Bodies measure. Truth doesn't. Time measures. Eternity doesn't. Pain measures. Love doesn't. So let the accuser prove himself first. Prove that the perceiver is not the thing perceived. Prove that the witness stands outside the scene. Prove that thought lives in meat, that awareness is a spark thrown off by carbon and water. Prove that death is a fact rather than a ritual of belief. You won't. Because the you that needs proof is the echo of a question that never had an answer. God did not create this world of lack. Wholeness does not manufacture pieces and then call them separate. Peace does not invent conflict and then judge who started it. Love does not give with one hand and take with the other. If perfection extended itself, what would appear except extension? Not dying things, not bargains, not 6 feet of fear and 2 hands of sanitizer, not armor on bodies and panic in hearts. The world that fear built worships evidence because it mistrusts vision. It trusts microscopes and misses meaning. It trusts headlines and misses cause. It trusts memory and misses presence. It gathers exhibits like a prosecutor and never notices the judge is a dream figure too. Miracles don't prove God. They undo the need to prosecute love. They are gentle refusals to use perception as a weapon. They say, let the case be dismissed because the crime never occurred. The ego hates that verdict. It prefers hung juries and permanent trials. It keeps every grievance as Exhibit A. It calls suffering the human condition and then drafts theology to explain why love would design a maze and punish the mice. That God is a puppet of guilt. Pull its strings and wars dance. Cut them, and silence tells the truth. What arrogance, you said, to ask God to prove he exists. Yes, but even greater arrogance is to insist that the body's eyes can certify the invisible. Sight can't see seeing. Hearing can't hear hearing. Mind is not inside the skull that seems to host it. The movie is not inside the screen. The screen is not inside the theater of time. All images arise on a stillness that was never born. Call it God if you like. Call it awareness. Call it love, being, I am. Names are labels on light. They neither add nor subtract. What matters is the unshakable fact that when the demand for proof collapses, peace appears where effort used to sit. Try this. Pause before the next argument with reality. Notice the breath without intending it. Notice the awareness noticing the breath. Then notice that awareness needs nothing from the breath to be aware. It was present before the inhale and remains after the exhale. It doesn't arrive with sensation or leave with silence. It is the place from which all proofs are requested and none are required. From there, ask again, who is asking God to show up? A name, a history, a posture of defense, a collector of grievances, awards and alarms, a moving costume on a still stage. When the costume is believed, the stage is ignored. When the stage is known, the costume can dance without fear. That is forgiveness, not of sins committed, but of a story mistaken for cause. Forgiveness says, what I thought happened to truth never happened at all. Not because pain wasn't felt in the dream, but because pain was never the author. The author writes only life. So set down the scales. Retire the jury. Let the courtroom lights go dark. Walk outside into what has always been bright. Feel how the need to prove anything loosens its grip. Feel how the heart does not argue its beat. Feel how existence stands obvious without witness. Here, God is not a thesis but the fact behind every fact. Here, the questioner dissolves into the answer. Here, nothing is added and nothing is taken away. Here, the quiet laughs at the very idea of evidence, because what is cannot be weighed, dated, or divided. And yet it lights every thought and sky. So let the case be closed, not proven, known. Thanks for the correction.